Hello dear traders! The battle between the crypto bulls and bears is in full swing. The market will soon find out where the bulls can win. If this month ends green, it would be the first non-loss-making September for Bitcoin since 2016. The outcome is about to be known. In this review, we will also find out about some of the oldest Bitcoins coming back to life, NASDAQ's first major push into crypto, and an inevitable new rally of the flagship cryptocurrency. Let's get straight into detail. Stubbornly high inflation is still dictating its terms to the world's central banks. In an attempt to reduce prices, regulators raise interest rates one by one. Of course, the US Federal Reserve is the leader of the hawkish race and sets the pace for its counterparts. Last week, the US Central Bank announced a 75 basis point rate increase for the first straight meeting. In addition, some representatives of regional federal banks gave interviews. All of them confirmed their hawkish stance throughout 2022 and beyond. St. Louis Fed President James Bullard said there is more tightening to come. Cleveland Fed Chief Loretta Mester advocated for a more aggressive approach. In this light, investors started selling off risk assets. The stock market slipped deeper into the red zone after the presidents of 6 more federal banks also delivered hawkish statements. On Wednesday, all 3 main US stock indices were bearish, with the S&P reaching its low. While the world's central banks are pushing the global economy into recession with their aggressive tightening, Bloomberg intelligence analysts, however, have seen growth potential for crypto. In the face of a weak economy, the price of commodities and risk assets could go down, which in turn could boost gold and Bitcoin. Michael Saylor, the founder of MicroStrategy and one of the biggest advocates of Bitcoin, even called the flagship cryptocurrency the most reliable thing in a very volatile world and the next store of value asset. And now let's look at the situation on the charts. Bitcoin has been moving in a relatively narrow corridor since mid-July, when the US Fed raised the interest rate by 75 basis points for the first time. Meanwhile, the stock market has been in a state of greater turmoil of this time period. This means that the stock market trends no longer suit Bitcoin. At the same time, even the smallest price changes could affect the crypto market. On September 27, digital gold showed the long-awaited volatility and traded above $20,000. Many traders obviously waited for this moment to lock in profits. In addition, Bitcoin is seeing some of its oldest coins come back to life after a decade of lying dormant. A total of 510 and 65 Bitcoins moved again for the first time last week. Little is known about the origin and the motive behind them coming back to life. On Wednesday, Bitcoin traded at $19,544, somewhat below the psychologically important price line of $20,000. If this month ends green, it would be the first non-loss-making September since 2016. We will talk more about the green autumn and crypto winter, as well as the bulls and bears in crypto tips from InstaForex TV channel. And now let's see how Ether has been doing lately. The second largest cryptocurrency by market capitalization added about 13% in September. On Wednesday, however, Ether fell and tested the swing low of $1,267. Nevertheless, the same chart shows us a green growth signal and the price at $1,352 on Wednesday. The digital asset became even more popular after the merge. Since the shift to the proof-of-stake protocol, the number of those willing to become a validator on Ethereum has grown considerably. As a reminder, to become one, a user must invest 32 Ether coins and install special software. Notably, the number of Ethereum validators has increased by more than 6,000 in a week. This has brought to the total staked Ethereum to almost 14 million. In the top 10 largest cryptocurrencies by market capitalization, Solana has shown the best weekly performance. In the past 7 days, the token gained 2.9%. Meanwhile, Ether became the worst performing token, losing 3%. Cardano officially launched its Vasil hard fork upgrade, which will lower costs and increase network capacity. The NASDAQ US stock exchange is reportedly planning to launch its own crypto custody service. The US Department of Justice has established a nationwide digital asset coordinator. It comprises over 150 designated federal prosecutors and will combat the growing threat posed by the illicit use of digital assets. At the time of a recession, only the wealthiest will be able to invest in cryptocurrencies. However, when the world finally emerges from the crisis, these assets may become first-choice instruments, crypto analysts say. In the face of a recession, many currencies may collapse and the US dollar may be overvalued and overbought. This can be hugely beneficial for Bitcoin and make it a winner. On the other hand, the flagship cryptocurrency may dip to the level of $14,000 or even $15,000 as early as next week. And during the crypto winter, it risks plunging even up to $10,000 per token. Clearly, such a steep fall in Bitcoin will also affect other digital assets. As a reminder, after the 2017 all-time high, Bitcoin spent 364 days in a bear market. Galaxy Digital CEO Mike Novogratz tracked the UPS and downs of digital goals and came into a certain conclusion. Thus, the 2017 bull run was about those investors who did not trust the government and wanted more privacy and decentralization. Mike Novogratz called it a historic rally, saying it was a Generation Z, Millennium Revolution, and it was global. An even bigger bull run took place in November 2021, when Bitcoin soared above $69,000. Back then, the rally was really generated by the COVID-19 pandemic. Novogratz suggested that the price action of 2020-21 was probably 80% story and 20% utility, referring to the growing utility use cause of digitalization amid the pandemic. Therefore, the next rally will require first and scalable systems which the crypto community has yet to build. The next bull run will have to be 50% story and 50% utility, Novogratz said. He also predicted crypto will inevitably succeed. This has been our latest review of the crypto market. Don't forget to subscribe to InstaForex TV to stay updated of what's happening in the crypto market.